This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
My name is Brandon.
My name's Matt.
And happy Global Cat Day.
Global
You're
Cat
probably like,
Day?
why would Nate choose that day?
It's a really good question. Why would you? You like cats?
Because about 3 years ago, I bought a shirt, or kind of like more like a what do you call it? Sweatshirt?
Yes.
Like a Hanes sweatshirt type deal that had Santa Pizza cat on it. And I wore it to pickleball, and then I bought a Taco Cat tank top because it was $1. And then people assumed I love cats, and so I've been gifted a bunch of cat t-shirts over the years. And that's kind of my thing now, pickleball, is cats. Even I think I told you for my birthday this year, we played on my birthday, and I showed up to the facility, and my friend was behind me, and he's wearing a cat shirt. And I'm like, "Oh, cool, you got one too." And then I went to the back, and people started coming out of the bathroom wearing cat shirts. So all like 24 people bought cat shirts for my birthday. So people literally believe that I love cats, and that's my thing. But the truth is, I do not like cats.
You ever
I do
had a
not like
cat?
cats at all. I've never had a cat,
That's
and I
your
do not
problem.
like cats since. So I tell him I'm like Batman. Batman is scared of and does not like bats, and yet he's Batman. So I am Catman, and I don't like cats. But I did have a friend the other day convince me that it's better to have a cat over a dog when you're a parent. So
Because
I
you don't have to do
have
much.
been, if my boy, I should say, wasn't allergic, and my wife wasn't allergic to cats and dogs at the same time, I would probably lean more towards getting a cat now than a dog,
And you
just
may as well just
because
go
of
with the
the
whole
time,
thing.
just for the whole time aspect of things. And yeah, they're easier. Cats can just roam the neighborhood, come home when they're hungry. Dogs need a little bit more attention. So in this case, Matt's a dog because he needs more attention, and Brandon's a cat. Have you seen
What?
that? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Have you seen that clip where the attorney gets on the Zoom call during COVID and he
I'm
has
not a
the
cat in real
film?
life.
I'm not a
Like,
cat.
sir, I'm not a cat. I promise.
That's a
His
good
shifty
one.
eyes. It's the eyes that's hilarious.
Anyways,
I am a cat person. When we have a family vacation coming up where we'll be gone for a little less than a week. And it's like, all right, what do we do with our dog? And luckily we have renters that live with us that can take care of it. And our neighbor girl will come visit him during the day. But we have 2 cats, and it's like,
Pay no mind.
don't even, we'll put food down, put water down. They'll take care of themselves. And we have one cat that is the coolest cat. I don't think I'll ever have a cat as good as this one ever again, but he goes outside to go to the bathroom and then turns around and comes back inside. And like, oh wait, we have a field behind our house. So he goes to that field. We didn't train him to do that. He takes care of his business outside. He loves going outside and then comes inside to eat and stuff, and he stays clean. He also catches all of the mice in our neighborhood. So every morning we wake up to multiple mice in our front yard.
Yikes.
He keeps the mice out of our house. He's awesome. So I love cats. I've grown up with cats. I've always loved cats.
so yeah, I'm lessening. What would you say? I don't hate cats anymore. I moved from hate to not like cats. So I'm slowly being pulled into the dark side of, because what you just said, just like the benefits of a cat and the easiness of having a cat. Because you're right, you can go out of town for a week, and if you have one of those food systems or the water systems where it just when it's empty, you know what I mean? It lasts for like 2 weeks, right? For the food and the water. The cats are good, and they probably don't even know you're even gone. Where a dog, it's whether it's 3 hours or 3 minutes, it's the same to them. Or 3 days in that matter.
Your
Which
dogs
is
are a
kind of
lot of
nice.
work.
It's kind of nice. Which is can be nice. They both have their pros and cons. But
Pets in general are a lot
pets
of
in
work.
general can be
Our work.
yes. And yes. We'll end there.
We'll end there.
We won't do National Pick on Matt Day. We'll leave that one.
Well, hold on. Maybe we should.
Oh wait. Yeah, we'll
That's what this episode's going to
end
be.
there so that we don't totally go off on Matt today. We'll give him a little bit of a break. Because we got some more in store for him.
Why?
Yes, that's true.
I don't
Why
know.
would
We
you give
have
me
more.
a break?
You don't want a break?
Bring it on.
You know.
Because before you start giving me a hard time about Taco Bell, and I'll start giving you a hard time about leaving at 4, being on time.
When did we say we were gonna leave at 4?
Brandon said that.
I never
He
said
said
that.
no. He said he was gonna pick me up at 4.
I never
He-
said that.
I looked at the time and I looked at his
Go
location.
but look
and
at
I'm
your
like,
message.
he
I
says-
never said I'd pick you up at 4.
He's like he hasn't even left yet.
I said I would probably leave my house at 4. Look at your message.
Okay, I got my time mixed up. You said you'd probably leave your house at 4. I looked at your location at 4. Didn't leave.
I did not.
And then
I said I
you
probably
left.
would.
You left, and I was like, "Oh, all right, good." And then you went to your in-laws or Nate's house. I think it was your in-laws for like 30 minutes.
It was not 30 minutes.
It was 32 minutes.
I went to go
That's right.
see my children.
What, you weren't
Oh.
even dropping off your kids?
No. I
You
didn't get
just
to,
went-
I didn't get to see them all day.
Ah, Brandon.
Sorry.
I respect that. Can
What?
I finish? Can I
Yes.
finish?
Yes, you can finish.
And I told you guys, pick me up at the bottom of this bridge because I couldn't. And then I was like, I'm not going to make it to that bridge by the time. So I start calling you, and you guys are just ignoring me.
Yeah, because I knew we were going to just find you. Why did I have to answer your phone call?
And you found me.
I could see where you were. It was not a surprise that you didn't make it to the bridge like you promised you would. Let's talk about broken promises, Matt.
Okay. I didn't say go back and listen to the phone call. I didn't say I'd promise. I told you I was
Well,
walking.
I didn't answer the phone, so I wouldn't have heard the phone call. Oh, the phone call before is what you're saying.
Should we tell the listeners what the episode is today?
Yes.
If you didn't read the title.
They didn't read the title. This is Frightmares Part 2. But really, Part 1. Because it was the first time we all got to go together. We've been trying to do this for a hot minute.
We're all in this together.
We have been to Lagoon together, right? We went in the peak Lagoon going days of 2020 when we were all
Yes.
masked up.
Yep.
We had a nice time. But this time we actually got to go to Frightmares together. Because Matt and I have gone 2 or 3 times together.
Yeah. I think we went in 2020. Oh, no. We
No,
went
I
21,
I think I did
22.
go in 2020, but I did not go with you.
Yeah. You and I went 21, and then we went 22. And then last year we were like, it's just too expensive. So we saved
Still
up our
maintain
money.
that.
Yeah, we saved up our money to afford it for this year,
Right.
which means there will be no 2025 trip.
Are you for real?
I don't know. I'm hoping to get a season pass.
Well, I'm the only one that's going to have to be paying for it then.
Just get a season pass, Brandon.
I'll think about it. But yes, we finally went to Frightmares together. Nate finally wasn't so busy with pickleball, whatever he does. And he came with us to Frightmares. And we drove together so we could have the full experience
true.
because Matt likes traditions. And one of the traditions established in 2021 was that we get Taco Bell in Bountiful on the way to Lagoon. But we did have to break from tradition this year. We had to get it in Clearfield.
Clearfield?
So
No, Centerville.
No,
Centerville.
Centerville.
I don't
I do
know.
the same thing all the time.
They're the same. even though they're
That would
completely
have been a heck of a
way further away.
try. We would have passed a lot of Taco Bells on our way.
Yes.
But to save $2, we'll do it.
Yes.
It wasn't to save $2.
It wasn't. We actually paid more money to go to
Oh yeah,
Centerville.
it was because you cannot create your own box at Bountiful,
Right.
And that's what we had to do.
Yes.
Right.
But I know the Centerville one is $2 more expensive than the one by my house.
Come on, Taco Bell, do better. I'm sure they're listening.
I thought it was the same price.
You can't pull a fast one on Nate when it comes to prices.
That's absolutely
I
true.
know my prices.
That's true. Can't argue that.
So we went to Taco Bell. Matt did pull a fast one on us because he had to use the restroom. And he got out and went as we were in the drive-thru, and he just like popped up after 5 seconds. So I think he just went in the bushes. I don't think he went into
I
the.
still don't think he's washed his hands.
He definitely
You know
has
what?
not.
I just washed my hands because I really like the smell of the soap that I currently have.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was the first time though. Since then.
But we got our Taco Bell and we ate it right away, and it was delicious.
It was so crunchy. My crunch wrap was so crunchy.
What did everybody get? Everyone's dying to know.
I got the crunch wrap supreme, the 5-layer burrito. Did I get all the potatoes, like cheese potatoes, instead of getting the cinnamon twist? That's what I got.
Matt.
I got a cheesy gordita crunch, no lettuce, a classic hard shell taco, no lettuce.
What's your
And
deal with lettuce?
huh?
What's your deal with lettuce?
It's disgusting. Lettuce, especially from Taco Bell, is disgusting. And then I was not feeling well at all. So I wasn't that hungry. So instead of getting the potatoes, which I always get, I got the cinnamon twists, which I had about 2 or 3 of them, and I could not finish because they were so disgusting. I can't even. They were so bitter. I don't know
Tasted like
what was wrong.
lettuce.
So is it like
Yeah.
that batch of them were bitter, or just in general they're
Oh,
bitter?
they're usually pretty good.
Are they?
Oh yeah, they're good. It was
Okay.
they were so bad. I don't remember if any of you tried them, had
tried
one,
one.
but yeah, I was
think
like, I
Brandon
can't do
I
this.
didn't.
No good.
Brandon, what'd you get?
Did I get 3 spicy potato tacos
Oh, that's right.
and a beefy 5-layer?
I think you just got 2 tacos.
Did I?
I can't
I
So
got
remember.
three.
so
I
you
think I got
didn't even need what they call it, the Craven box? Is that what it's called?
I didn't eat it.
He didn't.
I've been on those potato tacos for a while. They are so good. So I just wanted those. I usually get the cheesy gordita.
Hmm.
Or even some locos, but the last couple times at Taco Bell, I've just been going for the spicy potato tacos. They're really quite delicious. But yeah, we all enjoyed our meals from the safety and freshness of our car. I'll let you take it away from there, Nate.
Well, I was just going to bring up that I too was under the weather, and I
Really?
think you were just coming out of it, weren't you, Brandon?
Oh yeah, I did have a cough.
So
Yeah,
I
a little
was
bit of
I
a-
was hyped up on Mountain Dew, and it was just Sudafed or whatever to make it through the night. But I was so excited for Taco Bell because I haven't had Taco Bell for a super long time. I was like, sweet. Matt told me about the Craven box, and I saw that you can get the Crunchwrap Supreme. I was so excited because I haven't had one for years. And turns out it's not Crunchwrap Supreme anymore. It's called the Soggy Supreme. If you wait 30 minutes to eat it.
Matt makes us wait. That's part of the deal. Matt makes us wait to eat the food at the same bench in the park.
In the park
You
at the
can't
same
break
bench.
tradition. You just simply can't.
You can't.
Yeah,
It's simply
it
too
was-
good.
It is simply too good.
It was my first time. So
If it wouldn't
It
have been
was
your
it
first
was
time, you would have
lovely.
known the tradition is soggy Taco Bell. Nate, I'm sorry. I
It
should
was
have warned you.
lovely, and you forgot to ask them for a fork,
I did. You had to dump the potatoes in your mouth.
so I had to eat it like a cat out of the container.
It
That's
was
right.
going to
I
be
look
really
over.
funny because when Matt was in the bathroom, I told Nate that we weren't going to be able to eat until Lagoon. I said, you should just start eating and act like you don't know. We're supposed to wait.
But he came in too quick.
He came in too quick.
I looked over at Nate and he's got his potato bowl licking out the cheese. And I was like, what are you
I was
doing?
trying to eat. No, the potatoes show. I was trying to eat. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to eat it.
I'm just
Then
so hungry.
I realized that's what you're doing. I thought you were like done and licking out the cheese from the very
I was-
bottom, but
I
no
was-
fork.
No fork. I was eating. I did not lick the cheese from the bowl.
All jokes
I wasn't
aside,
that hungry.
it was good food. We ate in the park. Got in pretty. We did go to the wrong, not the exit. We went to the wrong parking lot because the north entrance isn't open that early. Apparently, we went on a Friday, so we didn't go till, what time did we get there? 5:30,
Yeah.
and we did have a little detour. So we got in the park pretty quick, ate our food, and then we just went on tons and tons of rides and tons
Yeah.
of experiences after that.
And I'm just glad that we were done eating our meal when we saw the janitor pulling garbage out of the garbage can with no gloves.
Weird.
Like, why not just pull the liner out? So he
Just
didn't pull the
raw
liner
dogging
out.
it.
It was just pulling garbage out. Like, some of it looked wet too. And I'm like, what is he doing?
He wiped his hand on his pants. It was good.
It
When he
was
went
good,
to
but I'm just
our-
like, why are you
our
not just
soggy
changing out the
Taco Bell
liner? Why are you
wrappers.
just pulling? Maybe it was faster, but I'm like, he doesn't even have gloves on or anything, and he's just pulling garbage out.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that was gross.
He probably cleans the rides.
and the bathrooms.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep us moving along because we looked down at our app and saw there was only a quick wait for
We're wicked.
Wicked.
So
No,
let's again. What did we establish as our wait time for Primordial?
45 minutes.
45
minutes. For a consecutive time or our first time? Didn't matter.
Consecutive.
Matt wanted to go on Primordial.
it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, but I think that was for the first time. Or did we
Well,
say
when
no,
we
said
were
unlimited amount of
rolling
time
in,
the first time?
we parked over in between the coaster and Wicked, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to go underneath the coaster, and we saw the line for Wicked was like basically there was no line.
It was wicked small.
Small, but yet we go right over to Primordial and wait in line for 45 minutes and let the park just fill with thousands and thousands and thousands of people to where all the rides were then long. And Primordial basically stayed the same. So did we make a good decision? Probably not.
I'm gonna.
I
say
have
we
no
did.
regrets.
I don't regret it because I kind of have to issue an apology. So this is Primordial Part 3 as well as Frightmares Part 2. Because Primordial, the second time around, was way better than my first experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just your second ride on it?
Right.
That was
Okay.
my second ride.
And I thought it was better. The first time I was pretty harsh. And maybe it was because I was the only person on the ride. So the wait, I don't know. Whatever it was, the second time around, I was like, this is actually better than I thought. It was just more fun. I don't know.
You know, it was more fun for me holding my 3D glasses until halfway through the ride, realizing I should put those on.
So
I forgot.
Were they just all blurry the whole time?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I didn't want to put them on while we did the little outside loop thing,
Why?
and then we get in. I don't know because it was beautiful outside, and I just want to enjoy the scenery. And then we're like halfway through it, I'm like shooting, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've got my glasses in my hand, so that really slowed me down.
yeah,
and that's why
he
I
had
lost
a bad
to-
score.
Lost to everyone, including a 13-year-old girl. How old? 13.
Oh yeah, because Nate's family met up with us at the front of the line in Primordial.
Oh, you're talking about my daughter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of was cool and same time sucked for us that we had to wait in line. But my family, so we went out together. We should probably clarify this. We went together, not at 4
For
o'clock.
the Taco
like
Bell
was originally
experience.
planned. That's originally planned 4 o'clock. But it was speaking of 4 o'clock, Matt, I was like, at this time, if Brandon doesn't show up soon, then I might as well just go with my family at this point. But he did. He showed up in time-ish, and my family decided to come down a little bit later. And by the time we got to the Primordial line, we were almost like right to the point where they're handing out glasses, right?
Yeah.
So that's how close we were. And my wife texts me and says, we're here. And then she convinced the workers to let them come to the front of the line. So we do have 2 boys with special needs, obviously, we've talked about before. So
That's why, not because
should
you
lean on
just
that excuse.
they don't just
Even though
let people skip
even though
the
the last
line.
episode we talked about how people do that, and my wife was kind of fight over it, but
You were on the
they,
receiving end of it, so it was much better this
yeah.
time
So
around.
yeah. So yeah.
She did it the right way though. She went to
Yeah.
a worker. She didn't just cut in front of
Just
people
cut
in
in
line
front of
and
people. Yes.
they're like, what the heck? She went through a worker, and then all of a sudden we're about to like get on the ride, and all of a sudden these elevator doors that I didn't even realize were there. Or
'Cause we
was
were
it a
looking-
staircase?
We were
I don't
looking
know.
at like 2 other ways, and we're like, which way are they going to come from? And they came
I
from
know.
behind.
I was like, I don't know where they're coming from. And they came from the one side we did not think they were going to come from.
Yeah.
And they appeared, and my daughter Scarlett went with us, right? And then my wife took the boys. So Scarlett was in our cart. And I feel like my gun just didn't work.
Maybe
And
not.
yet you still beat me.
Still beat you though.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was like at the beginning, at least at the beginning, it didn't seem like it was working. And then it's worked a little bit. And then towards the end, it wasn't really working. And then I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
I've
weird.
realized the people that are to the far right of the ride, they got a much better,
Well, they get
a higher
people are
scoring
sometimes
potential.
right. Well, that and
It's a
yeah,
little
and then
unfair.
towards the end, it flips. They were still in front, and then our cart flipped, so where you and Matt were in front. So by the time I was shooting, everything was dead. You know what I mean? There was nothing to shoot at. So you're like,
You took care of it.
is this really a fair game?
Yeah.
Like, anyways, I'm just.
So a
kidding. I
question
don't
we
care.
had from last time, from Primordial Part 2, was, are there 2 separate tracks? And the answer is yes, there are.
Yeah.
Because we got to go on the second one.
And it's different.
Again, spoiler, if you haven't heard it before, here's your spoiler warning. The very end of the ride, the one I went on, the one Matt's been on, maybe you too, Nate, it rolls back at the very end when the bridge breaks or whatever happens. But the one we had today, not today, on this most recent run of it, it drops you. Just completely bottoms out and you fall down.
Oh, so the first time you went, it like rolled back and then dropped?
It just rolls back.
It rolls back, but it's like almost straight down. But it is a roll, and you can definitely feel there's a track under you.
Huh. I don't know if I've
Whereas
done that
this one
then.
drops straight down.
I just feel like I've only done the drop.
You haven't got the roll, huh?
If you weren't paying attention closely, you might not recognize that it was at an actual roll back. Like you might, it's still a drop. It's just like at a steep angle, and your cart drops. Whereas this one is like hydraulics and straight up just drops straight down. No
straight
track.
up drops.
Straight up drops. The other thing I noticed because I wanted to look for it this time. The first time I saw a goblin, is that what that is? And then I watched a video on YouTube and it was like a troll at one part. And I'm like, oh, they must have it on a turntable where they like switch it back and forth. But then we really paid attention. And they
Just
actually
like the light will light up.
Yeah, they're both there. And the other one's blacked out basically because the light is on the other character. So they just switched the lights, but they're both standing right there. And I did not notice that the first time.
Yeah. But overall, it was a more fun experience than I had in Primordial from the first time. So I think it's a pretty good ride. I might say you could wait a little bit longer for this one. If it's not too hot outside. And that was
So
one
if
of
you've
two
already been on
rides.
Primordial and you only go to Lagoon once a year, and you're gonna go during Frightmares this year, do you skip Primordial and just do all the Frightmare events?
If it's your only time going to Lagoon, Are you
I mean,
go if
you've
it's
already
your
been on the
only
ride.
time going to Lagoon, are you going for the Frightmare events? Are you going for the haunted houses?
Or are you going for the rides?
I
Anyways,
can't answer that.
Here's the thing.
all right.
I don't know if you should go to Lagoon only for the haunted houses.
No,
This is
you
true.
shouldn't.
This is true.
And they don't
Let's
even
move-
have
Kinda
the
what we did.
atmosphere.
Let's move on to our story then.
That's
Move
what
on
we
to our
did,
experience and
basically.
let the listeners decide.
They can decide.
We'll help them decide. So
I
we went to
can't be.
Primordial, and our second trip or ride was going to be the Screamer, right?
Yes.
And
Broke
while we're in
down.
line, it broke down. We're like, we're not, we ain't gonna wait. And then we said, haunted house, haunted house.
We said cannibal. That line was really long. And then
Mhm.
we said haunted house. So we went to
Oh,
haunted
we
house.
forgot to mention Samurai's back.
It is. Just in time for Frightmares.
So Samurai's
They're
back.
good at
But
opening rides for Frightmares.
yeah, I wonder what the attendance is like. It's got to be the busiest month out of the whole year for them, right?
I don't know. I think
Or
in
as
the
far
summer.
as like park attendance, I don't know. But I mean, they're not open
They only
the
open
whole
like
month
3 days.
though. Yeah, but I wonder like if is their busiest day of the year one of the days during Frightmares is my question.
It's a good question.
Because I feel like the only time I've ever seen the parking lot before they even had that second entrance open, they'd only open up that field on really busy days. And Frightmares always seems to be the times that I see it being used.
My question is, before we get too much into our experience, why do you charge the same price for only a couple hours on a Friday?
They usually though will do some sort of they used to do like date night, Friday night was date night or something. So it was like buy one, get one free. I don't know if they do. And then it was just insanely crowded.
I get that, but is that kind of to say to people, only come if you have a season pass? Because if you don't, it's not going to be worth it to pay those prices for
Or maybe they just
5 hours.
They just get if they get it, you know what I mean? It's supply and demand.
It
People
worked because me and Matt don't have passes and we went for the higher price.
and I
And we
bet you
only
there's a lot
got,
of other people who went and paid it as well.
I'd be surprised how many people go on a Friday night, pay the full price or some kind of discounted price. Even then, it's a lot of money for just 6 hours, maybe. Not even that because they don't let you ride rides up until closing.
10:45
They turn them
when they
off.
shut down the line. Yeah.
They shut down lines.
Yeah, they ain't no Universal
15.
Stereo. Is it Universal and Disneyland does that?
Disneyland too.
You
I
just
went
have to
onto a
be in
ride
line before
at
the
9:59 or something. I think the car closed at 10 and I went on a ride at like 9:59. And they don't turn you away until it's 10 o'clock. But at Lagoon, I don't know if it's like a child labor thing or what it is, but they close the line and say you're not getting in line, even though the park is still open.
That's my guess. Is it's labor law?
or it's a Utah thing. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We got
Either
a
way,
curfew.
it grinds my gears. But what else grinds my gears is these dang haunted houses, man.
That first one, I apologize if I don't think I think we all agreed to go on it in it, but I was like, let's get in line, and we got in line for the what is that one? How the
Is that the
Funhouse of
Funhouse
Fears.
Fun House of Fears, which is depending on what
Clowns.
rating you're looking at, it's like 3 spiders or 4 bones or something like that.
If you're looking on the ride, the sign says spiders. If you're looking on the map, it says bones. If you're looking on the app, you're out of luck because there is no app.
And
The bones are the skeleton's money.
that's right. That's what we learned that night. Is the bones are the skeleton's money. And they will pull your hair up but not out. My biggest complaint of that haunted house is the annoying voice that those actors have to do.
The clown.
That annoying clown voice. Don't
do it.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
I also think
I don't think any actor in the Lagoon Haunted House should have a pass to talk. They should all be forbidden from saying anything, except maybe Satan in the Night Walk. Everyone else should just scare you, and all that dialogue, just take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, they go on too long. I think in the clown haunted house, because it's the least scary haunted house and it's advertised as that.
It's really bright. It's not super dark.
It's not dark at all. The characters in there did not interact with us at all. The actors did not interact at all. We'd walk in a room and they'd just be standing there in a corner looking at us. Nobody was doing anything. It was, we walked out of there and were so disappointed of how bad it sucked. It was so bad.
Someone
And I
did
was
scare me
like-
at the end when they jumped down and I didn't see him. But other than that, it was bad.
I don't remember that.
When you're going down the walkway, someone like jumped and
I thought
scared.
that was in the other one.
Oh, maybe it was.
That was in the other one.
Okay. So nothing scary about the clown one.
It was awful.
And it's again, I think they changed things a little bit. They moved some things from previous years, but it's the same thing over and over again. And it's maybe they're not trying to be as scary because, as you said, it's three bone spiders. But it's just we shouldn't have even gone in that one.
No, it was a
It
waste,
was a waste
of
of
time.
time.
Yeah.
Nate agrees. He's shaking his head.
Yeah.
But then we went on the Nightmare Midway.
We went
Which
next door.
was a bright spot, actually. Because in the past, that one's been just black darkness and corners. And that's all it is, really.
Yeah,
that one's
like
okay.
the first half used to be just completely black. You couldn't
It's like
see anything.
switchbacks.
Yep.
And we went in 2022, but from then and now it was completely revamped, completely changed.
And we give it 2 thumbs up.
You didn't even talk about our line experience in that one.
Oh yeah.
How could you forget?
I'm
How could
sorry.
you forget?
Tell us about
What's
the
back the
line.
truck up?
That was the
Well,
best
first of all,
part.
we thought the Funhouse that both lines seemed pretty equal. We should have gone to, well, maybe not, because the Funhouse get the crappy one out of the way first, right?
Yeah. We should have
But
skipped it.
we went to the next line and it was moving along, and then we just like were standing still for like how long?
Too long.
For like
Forever.
10 minutes because there was a group of like a small group of kids, and then their 2 friends would come over and join the line, another 2 friends, another 2 friends, three. So it went from 3 or 4 kids to like how many? Like 20 plus kids
Yeah, it was
just
this
butting in
huge
line.
group of friends.
And I understand that you let 1 or 2 people in, you're like, yeah, it's annoying, but let them do it. But you don't go hold the line for your whole high school class to come join you. And so we were getting a little frustrated. And then I think somebody came over and started to talk to him and it kind of stopped the line. So I
Lady
just walked
behind
over.
us went and told someone.
Yeah. And then she started talking to him to get figured. And there was sort of a gap between them and the door to go in. So I just went and to the door. The worker's like, wait, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, if there's a gap or something like that, you just jump in line. That's what you do. And she's like, what? And like, yeah, that's what all these kids were doing. So I'm just doing what they're doing. And then she didn't want to have a conversation with adults, so she just walks off. And I called you guys over.
So we all go in front of
all
this
go jump in
huge group
line.
of kids.
Yeah.
Some of
And
them
then you
got
get some-
through, but most of them just left the line because they were caught in there.
They knew what they were
They
doing.
knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but the lady who told on them, she was actually behind us, right? So she ended up being behind us, but we did cut in front of like a smaller group. But we did, when we found out they weren't part of the group, we're like, oh yeah, you can totally go ahead of us. But they're like, I think they were just excited that we did what we did. And so they're like, you're good. We'll wait behind you. But that was fun.
Might be time to
And then we
institute
heard-
the chaperone rule at Lagoon.
Oh,
There's a
that's
chaperone
right.
rule.
At
They're
other
going to-
parks like Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags, you have, if you're under a certain age, I think under 18, you need to have a chaperone with you. You can't just send your kids to the park and let the park babysit the kids.
Oh yeah. And isn't there a rule at some of them where you can't even, like, if you're an adult, you can't go in by yourself?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I swear there's what's his name? that comedian guy we talked about from Idaho.
Oh yeah.
It was like the new Jerry Seinfeld, they say. Talks about how he wanted to go by himself and they wouldn't let him.
Hmm.
Or maybe
Well,
it's some rides they would let him go by himself. I can't remember.
he was trying to go on the
Anyways,
carousel by himself. I think
there
that
you
was a
go.
good call.
Yeah. But we did. We made it through that house and
I
it
was just
was
happy to have something
much
different.
better. It was much better than the fun house.
Yeah. There's some scary moments. Some
Yeah.
frightening moments. I won't say scary.
Some frightening.
Two
But
spots in a
when
row that Brandon got startled. And I'm not saying that as if Brandon's the only one that got startled. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Matt was pretty freaked out about this hallway of
Oh
white
yeah.
smoke and walls.
It was a
He kept trying to hold my hand.
yeah. The room was filled with fog and then it was just bright white. So you could see the silhouette of the person in front of you. That's all the only detail your eye can make out. And I swear I kept hearing noises behind me as if somebody was right behind me. And so I was paranoid. So I was grabbed onto Brandon's shirt, just pinching it. I wasn't holding on to him. That's how it justified. Just two fingers holding onto his shirt. And then I turned around and walked and stared behind me the whole way I walked through.
I didn't know you were looking behind you.
Yeah.
And you make
And
fun of me and my earplugs.
but I had to do that because I wasn't wearing earplugs.
Oh, okay, fair.
And then there was another part in the house where I was like, I feel like we haven't seen a person for a while. We went through this like whole like the school zone.
Yeah.
There's a part where they brought back like the high school themed haunt.
Yeah.
So we are going through the school and I was like, there's nobody here. And I looked behind me and somebody was coming up right behind us. And I was like, oh man, they would have scared me so bad, but I looked right at the right time. So that one was really fun. We got out of there and we were way happy about that haunt. We were excited that it was different this year. It felt really cool. There was a forest scene that felt really cool. The beginning, you're walking through a house. It was just well done.
It was well done. Best thing that they've done with Frightmares in years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then things went downhill from there. Because we thought it'd be a good idea to go to the one in Pioneer Village, which usually you'd think
Pretty
is out of the way. What's that?
which is usually pretty good.
Usually
And
pretty
like you
good.
said, a lot of people, to me, I feel like in the past, the line hasn't been that long because you just said it's like kind of out of the way to get to, and
Mhm.
people forget there's one over there. But was that the case?
No, it was. How long were we in that line? It had to be at least an hour,
If not longer,
if
right?
not longer. I like that they, again, go into some changes from 2 years when we last went. I appreciated the facade they built up a little more. They had a kind of when you got closer to going to the house, they
Well, they
had like a
changed the entrance.
yeah, the entrance, yeah. You had like a big pumpkin creature and tons of carved pumpkins, a kind of animatronic thing in the back. They kept shooting out smoke, and so that part was better. There was lots of cool sounds going off as we were standing in line. But the house seemed like it kind of went downhill a little bit
Yeah,
inside.
yeah,
It was about
yeah.
the same for me, from what I remember. My favorite part was that Brandon tipped his hat to every actor.
Did you?
It was
I
like
did.
Western. It was like Western themed. So he'd walk in and tip his hat.
I'd say evening.
Even sir?
That was pretty good. And
They didn't know
I
what to
still
do.
love the ending, that mine room. Like
Mm,
we're in your mine with all the I don't know how to explain it, but the flashing lights.
yeah. You're explaining when the lights would flash on and off, not like flash, 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 like flash on,
Yeah,
flash off.
they're dim. They're
Yeah.
dim lights like in a mine underground, and all of a sudden they just fade out and it's pitch black, and then they'll fade back in, and you can kind of see, and they're flickering a little bit, and then it fades out. And
Yeah.
so that induces this fear of the light coming on and somebody being right there. So
Mhm.
that's a good vibe. I like
Yeah.
that room.
And I like the church area. It's a little maybe spicy for some people, but they've got the crosses that are like inverting on the walls, and they're like doing incantations in there. It's pretty spooky. Pretty
Yeah.
spooky. But we also saw 2 fights in there, which is the reason that I want to rescind all the dialogue cards from the actors.
Oh,
So bad.
it was so cringy.
I don't know the reasoning behind why someone would be scared to see 2 Western people in a haunted house fighting each other or having a fake fight. Terrible
Over
choreography.
corn.
Over corn. Right. Yeah. Not great acting.
No,
But
it was not.
not worth the wait. It's a 5 spiders. Wasn't super scary. But again, in past years, that one's been usually it's been a highlight. And that was the last haunted house we got to go to because our day was pretty much over.
Well, we've saved the very, very best for last.
The best for last.
You go and save the best for last. No?
No.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know that song? Sometimes the snow comes down in June. No?
No.
Keep going. I don't know it. Sing
Keep
the whole
singing.
song.
I don't know.
We got some time to fill. Sing the song, Nate.
We got some. We haven't talked long enough.
In the past, when Nate's gone for Frightmares, it's a tradition in his family. After you've had soggy tacos, you need to have soggy shoes on your way out of Lagoon.
Boom. Nice one, Brandon. Nice.
Thank
That
you.
was good. I think we should add, it's an important note. It was about 9:50 at this point.
No.
No, we're
No.
probably a little.
They
past
closed
9:30.
Pioneer Village early, right?
Yeah.
So it was
Oh,
probably,
right.
They
probably
closed around.
9. What time did they say it was at?
No, I thought they closed.
We probably got on the right around 9:40-ish. Maybe closer to
No.
9:50.
Because doesn't
Because they,
oh no,
no, they
yeah, you're
closed
right.
at 10.
The park closes at 11.
And the lady
Yeah.
told us it takes 5 minutes to go around.
Right. So we walked right on because nobody in their right mind is riding Rattlesnake Rapids at 10 o'clock at night in the fall. Granted, it wasn't super cold, but it facilitated us being able to go right up, hop on, and even get a second round
Without getting out of the boat.
without getting out. You just run it back.
Well,
And we
one
thought-
more time.
Our first time was pretty good. We didn't get super wet. And we're like,
No.
this isn't bad. They turned off the waterfall kind of near the end. So you don't have that splashing down on you. But, some people got a little wet, a little splash. But that second round
was a
man,
mistake.
That was a
mistake.
doozy.
That was a doozy.
At one point, I looked down and everybody's feet was completely submerged in
Oh
water.
my gosh, yes.
It
Yeah,
was. We regretted
yes.
it.
It was the wettest round in the wilderness.
Welcome to Rattlesnake Rapids. I don't know if they still play that voice or not.
No, they do.
I
I heard it walking
They
up.
do.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I got a really big splash. Was it in the cave? I think it might have been in the cave. I was feeling pretty good about myself. Like I've come out of this pretty unscathed. But then we hit this wave and it just splashed me, soaked my pants real bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I wet my pants, my shoes, my underwear.
My
It was
tissues
done.
were completely wrecked. Couldn't blow my
Yeah.
nose.
There you go. And
But
I
it was
wore I wore the shoes I played pickleball in, and I needed them in a few hours, and they were still soaking wet the next
Yeah.
morning.
Saturday, I put my shoes out to dry out in the driveway, and my youngest son, Colton, saw them. He was like, "Why are dad's shoes out in the driveway?" So he brought them inside.
Oh no.
So they were still just completely soaked. Oh, I thought you guys froze for a second.
No. Yeah, but it was fun to do. It's a pretty good vibe to ride that ride in the dark.
It was fun.
It's fun.
We made some memories on that ride.
Absolutely.
Some
When we remember
core
this trip, it's
wet
going to be
memories.
that.
That was probably the best part of the whole trip. No, Primordial was good. But, we had to finish out the night the best way possible, waiting in a 45-minute line for a Beaver Tail.
It wasn't 45 minutes.
It was bad.
So we're like, hey guys, we could probably get another 3 to 4 rides in if we hurry. And Brown's like, gotta make a quick little stop here. Gotta get a beaver tail.
It's usually a quick stop.
But was it?
No,
It was not Taco Bell fast, that's for sure.
Matt walked right up. He got himself some Dippin' Dots. Disgusting ice cream, by the way.
They were so good. It was the Cookie Monster. It was blue ice cream with chunks of chocolate and cookie dough. If you ever see that flavor, I recommend it.
Don't waste
Dippin'
your money.
Dots are amazing.
Don't waste your money unless you want to get out of a line quick because no one else was in that line. So that's why you got it so fast because they suck. But I went in the Beaver Tail line, which, it takes a minute to make a Beaver Tail, which is a scone type thing.
The scone, and they just put toppings on
I
it.
got one with the
That's all it
works.
is.
Yeah. And, but when I was in line, they decided to skip me 2 times. So I had to wait extra long.
No,
Not only
it took,
skip you, both times you got skipped were by families with multiple beaver tails.
Yes.
You're waiting for your one, and your one, whatever it was called,
The works.
The works, we'll say that. It had everything. Multiple of those came out before yours came out. And I was like, wait a minute. We ordered before those people. And then we were for sure, like twice, Brandon grabbed somebody else's and they're like,
Well, they said
somebody-
Brandy. So I'm
Yeah,
like, Brandon,
Brandy.
Brandy. Okay, sure. That's me. I grab it. And then Brandy comes up. I think, no, Randy. Yeah, it was Randy. She
Randy.
comes up and she's like, yeah, that's mine. She takes it. Then they give her like 3 more.
Yep.
And then I wish you'd have pointed out because I didn't realize she was behind us. I was like, yeah, I definitely should have got mine before her 5 Beaver Tails. And then that other guy, Dustin, was that his name?
Something like that.
I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound anything like Brandon, but that's definitely mine because I've been waiting here for a
well,
minute.
didn't she like hand it to you in confidence that it was yours? Like, yeah, I remember you. Here's your beaver tail.
Yes. Yes, but then the other lady came up and took it. I'm not going to say no. I'm not Randy. That wasn't me. She didn't call my name. So then Matt points out, they're like, hey, we've been waiting for a while. And then they finally prepare mine. And I was a little irritated. There was like, no, sorry, no. Like, oh, yeah,
Whoops.
we
Oh,
skipped you. It just was like, here you go. Like, yeah, that was never
Shame
get
on
another
you.
Beaver Tail.
Shame on you, Beaver Tails.
Shame on you, Beaver Tails.
When I brought it up, they didn't even apologize. They were just like, oh, yeah, we're getting yours. And I'm like, no, like, we've been
park's-
waiting forever.
Park's closing.
Yeah,
I'm missing
this
out on time. And I'm
yeah.
paying you
Yeah, you should tell Lagoon they owe you a refund.
a full refund of our tickets because of that Beaver Tail.
Heck yes.
I'm already writing the review on Google right now.
Good. But it took so long that it made it so Nate and his family were like, yeah, I think we're done. We're going to leave. And so we went and took a picture for podcast purposes, of course. And then they left, and Matt and I were feeling really jazzed to do some more stuff. We went to go check on Cannibal. Line was freaking long. And did we even look at a haunted house? I don't think we did.
No, we were
Matt
like,
wasn't feeling great. So he was ready
Yeah.
to get out of there. So we should have just left with Nate and his family because we didn't even do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
we
in
were.
that extra time of walking, I was extremely self-conscious about my gray pants I was wearing that were, my butt was completely soaked. I was like, these teenagers are going to look at me and think I pissed myself.
Like
Or
his
something
pens
worse.
are overflowing.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than teenagers.
Teenagers.
Teenagers that will butt you in line or make fun of your wet pants.
They're brutal.
But all in all, guys, it was a good trip. It's fun to go to Lagoon with you. Nate, finally, the 3 of us made it out after talking about it for so long. And I go back. I don't know if I want to go back on a Friday. It's just too much money, not enough time to do anything. And you got to get
You're
your
right.
money's worth when you go to Lagoon. And going
Yeah.
through those haunted houses is not your money's worth.
We should have gone, or next year go on a Saturday. You don't have to go early in the morning, just go like early, late afternoon.
Right. And that's more
'Cause I don't
worth
think
it.
the haunted house is open till like 5 o'clock on days like that, anyways.
Those
So you
days you
can
can
go
go
grab-
first thing, not
So
wait
you
till
don't feel
dark.
that's true. but you can hit a couple rides and not feel like you're missing out on the haunted houses.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to go try it. Maybe next year. Let's go do the seance thing, or whatever they call
I
it.
want to do that. I think we should.
All
For
right.
next year, we'll save
Next
up a little
year.
extra. So we might need to do it in 2 years, right? Because it's like an additional 15
No.
bucks.
Well, Matt and I just have our season passes. It's only an extra $15 for us.
Oh, so you guys you'll comp it for me?
We'll go. Me and Matt will go because you don't
Yeah,
want to
we'll
go season.
explain
Oh,
it.
okay.
We'll explain it to you what happened.
I do.
We're not
I
just
do
gonna
feel
leave
like
you out.
I don't want to get my hopes up real high, but it's got. I think they do like 10 spiders. It's so scary. Just kidding. I think the max is 5, but apparently it's a show with all sorts of things happening around you during the show. It sounds cool. I want to go to see it.
And nobody has snuck a camera in there yet,
Maybe
as far
we'll be
as
the
we can
first.
tell.
Maybe they make you put your phones in a basket or something so you can't.
I'll
Which
wear
that's
those.
just something else I gotta say. Why will Disney, not Disney, why will Lagoon let you film in the haunted houses? It's not like there's anything secretive or amazing that's happening in there that you're gonna be spoiling for the rest of everybody. But when people film inside of stuff, it leads to people wanting to go and see them more. That seems to be
Maybe
kind of
because
the trend.
maybe because they're so bad, they don't want people to turn away.
That is
You might be
potentially
right.
true. They're
So
like, we don't
maybe
want to see, we don't want the public to see these 13 and 14-year-olds.
in their pretend
That's
fights
true.
over
And
corn.
it's so bad that people like will not want to go.
You know what? I
Maybe.
really like that theory, and I'm going to stick with that theory from now on.
Agreed.
I think that's it.
This is our second episode talking about Frightmares, but I just have to say again, Lagoon, if you're listening, we love you. We may make fun of things, talk smack on things. That's what you do when you love somebody. We do it to Matt. We make fun of him and we bully him all the time. That's why we do to you too, Lagoon. But for the love of everything holy, please bring back the tall, creepy walk around characters and the obnoxious amount of fog. That's all we want.
I just want fog. I don't
just want the
understand what's so
fog.
hard about that.
There was so much fog back in the day. A cloud of fog over Lagoon is all we want. Maybe it's bad for the environment. I don't care.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And we
It's
even
not.
talked about when we were waiting for your Beaver Tail and bored out of our minds that they had dancing and stuff going throughout the park as well. Like
Yeah.
Back in the day.
the people who did the show on the stage. We didn't even get a chance to watch that this year too. We don't know if it's any good or
Hack and
not.
slash. They used to have a zombie truck pull up too. They'd bring up like a cage of zombies that would jump out and run all around the park.
And we want the talking zombie over by the fun house. We want that back too.
It felt like there was way less decorations this year than there has been in the past.
Yeah.
Like the vibe, there just wasn't as much stuff. Like they've got the graves kind of sprinkled throughout in the opening in the middle. But a lot of like in the past, you would know just by standing around that you're in the fall in Halloween season. But it seemed way less this year. I don't know what it was. Just
Well,
bring
if we're
back the
doing
vibe.
requests, Lagoon and Lagoon's listening, just bring back the magic carpet. That's all I want.
The magic carpet. What do you want?
think
Fog
so,
or
too.
magic carpet? Take your pick.
Ooh, magic carpet.
Really?
Magic carpet.
No
Because
way.
that's year round, dude. Magic
Yeah,
carpet's year round.
that satisfies you multiple nights.
I
where
want one
fog
day
is
of
just-
suffocating fog. Just one day.
Yeah.
I just want to know where all the fog machines went. They obviously had them in the past.
They
all
probably
go?
spread COVID. The fog.
Maybe they
Spreads
caused COVID.
COVID.
Was Frightmares really good right before COVID?
I think so.
It just hasn't got back to where it was.
No.
Hmm.
Man, that reminds me of, and you can cut this part out. There is crowd surfing. Is that what the YouTube channel is called in Utah?
Yeah.
And they go to Frightmares, and there's the most cringy interview you could possibly find on YouTube. And I will send it to you guys, Brandon. I've sent it before. I will find it and send it in the group with the correct start time. So when you start the video, it'll be right where you want to see it.
Amazing.
It's so hard to watch. It is a vampire being interviewed by this lady who's like, "Oh my, you look scary. What are you? Are you Edward?" It's so bad.
That's pretty bad.
So it's like yeah.
Again, dialogue card revoked. Just take it away.
Do the foot pedals. Have a teenage kid step on a foot pedal that activates a sound. They pop out. They look at you. They go back into their hole.
What?
That's what all haunted houses do.
Foot pedals.
They have foot switches. So when you're walking up, even at Nightmare on 13th, I'll point it out. If they're hidden somewhere and you're in a dark room and all of a sudden it lights up and it's like, "Wah!"
Yeah.
That's because they hit a foot pedal or a foot switch, or you've activated something and they just pop out, look at you, and pop back in. They don't interact with you. They don't, "Hey guys, what do we kill? Witches. That's right. What else do we kill? Witches. What else do we kill? Witches. We killed 3 witches. We don't
And
need
corn.
that. And corn. Look at all this corn. Don't you be taking my corn." Look, it was just bad.
Yeah, I like turtles.
That's the same.
I bet
That's
you
the
do,
vibe.
Jonathan.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
But as much shade as we throw, we'll keep coming back. Keep what
Yeah,
you're
we'll
doing,
be back
Lagoon.
next year.
We'll be back next year.
And why? Because we have no other option.
No other option.
You've got the monopoly.
Maybe someone's listening and they'll build a new amusement park here. One could hope. Us.
Well, we had him on our podcast. We're
Oh,
waiting.
right. It's not here yet. Soon.
It is a prime market. Like, we are a young state. We're the first or second youngest
We
state.
love this stuff. Look how much people go to Disneyland.
Serious.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Well,
It's
we
like
are
California
Disneyland.
residents and
We
Utah.
are half of Disneyland.
We are Disneyland.
Just bring something closer. That's all we want.
I know. Bring a Dollywood. What's that? Oh, I forgot what the family name is that owns Dollywood.
Oh yeah, I listened to a
And-
miniseries that talked a lot about this.
Silver Dollar City. Yeah, this miniseries that covered this family. If they could bring a mine themed park here, or the Old West, just the Old West themed park,
And stick to it. Have the consistent theme.
stick to it, man, it'd be so good.
We'd work there.
I'd volunteer.
Employee number 2 right here.
There you go. Employee of the month right here.
Until then, keep what you're doing, Lagoon. All of you, keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you next week on This Is a Place podcast. And thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And this was a place we just talked about.
I really thought and hoped you were going to say, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles. Oh, Jonathan, you got
This is my first interview. and I've never done this
Apparently.
before.